I have a question. Did Meghan shave Harry's eyebrows? Because I was going to analyze how his resting face has changed so much. Yeah, he looks miserable, but there are a couple of things that have changed in the past couple of weeks, but not for the reasons that you think. But my impression when I saw this exact frame of this filmmaking promo, in which it's actually a split screen, where he's talking about young people being seen, heard, and believed in, luxuries that Harry hasn't enjoyed in a while, I can tell. I noticed that, okay, his hair is as messy and missing as usual, but the thinning eyebrows were especially concerning. Not because your eyebrows fall off for some kind of medical condition. No, 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 no. We don't want that for Harry, of course. We want Harry to enjoy a long life beside Meghan. But usually, thinning eyebrows mean that the person has been plucking them, maybe out of anxiety or stress, or things are going on with their lives and there's no one next to Harry to warn him that he should not pluck his eyebrows. They sometimes don't grow back, just like the public's trust in whatever goodwill he enjoyed in the past. Now, you combine the hair, the eyebrows, and his eyes expression, and it is concerning enough, just because you notice that his eyelids have been dropping in a sad expression and fast. I mean, as we get older, the meaty part right below your eyebrows, that crease, is going to droop naturally, but it is way too common that it happens in an asymmetric way. It's interesting to notice that in Harry's face, it is happening on both sides at the same time, like a sadness expression has taken his face as hostage permanently. And I couldn't imagine a more fitting reason than, now that we think of it, being married to Meghan for 8 years. That is something. But imagine that you're trying to cheer filmmakers with that mouth, those lips pressed, like you just put down your family dog. It's like when he says the words, your voice and your future matter. We see kind of a correction of the previous expression. Now, this is not the same as before. I'm pretty sure that you noticed. I'm going to put them side by side just in case. He realized that he had to correct that pathetic expression right at the beginning of the video. And it makes sense because at this point we are just used to Harry recording these messages in just one take. Like, he doesn't really bother to have 2 or 3 takes, to get it right. To watch yourself, to listen to yourself and realize, oh, I look and sound really pathetic. I should do something about it. But no, Harry doesn't bother, of course. So he does it in one take and he just winks it, and that's why he makes those adjustments on the fly. The silver lining is that this way we can see the real Harry, even if this is a recording. But it's also his voice. You can hear when he's recording the encouraging video that his voice fades at some point. Listen.
That is why grassroots organizations like CRS, Take One Studios, and Epic Partners matter so deeply.
Yeah, he was talking, and it's like his voice just faded away for a second. And this clip is just 1 minute long, which again, I find this offensive. I was born in September. We are natural perfectionists. That is actually a downside sometimes. But in Harry's case, it's like he doesn't even do the bare minimum. And again, we are talking about 1 minute. Maybe he's afraid of the camera. You know that he has a claim to have some sort of PTSD because of paparazzis and his mother and whatnot. But can't they just put some kind of Meghan cardboard cutout on top of the camera so Harry doesn't look so miserable when recording stuff? Well, now that I have that image on my mind, maybe there is an actual Meghan cardboard cutout on top of the camera, and that's why Harry looks so miserable. That could be it. But at least he feels proud of donating to BBC Children in Need.
My donation to BBC Children in Need was made to support this collaborative work. It is helping to fund the Music Mentors program between CRS and Epic Partners, and it is driving forward the physical rebuilding of the community recording studio.
Yeah, at least the part in which Harry reminds us that he gave money for a good cause makes him speak in a slightly better way, but still ends with that expression of absolute defeat, which is even worse than the one that we saw at the beginning. Now, I think the reason Harry looks more miserable than usual is because he's talking about filmmaking, and we all know that this is one of the venues that Meghan has been exploring for a comeback, since the As Ever brand has a lot of stock that has not been sold, and that usually signals that the lifestyle project did not take off the way she wanted to. So, Harry talking about filmmaking must hit close to home because we know that this guy is against Meghan coming back to that industry. Not that Meghan was in filmmaking per se at any point. She was just in Suits and, well, that's pretty much it. But it's the acting thing that must have Harry worried. I mean, there's a number of things that can go sideways with this. Meghan's acting could be rusty, and the critics are not going to be kind to her, or the typical production issues, or the whole thing is Markle, or to be fair, for something, anything to make money nowadays, having a big budget or having big stars, none of that matters anymore. And as for Meghan, well, she's definitely not a big star, at least not on film. On YouTube, she's very popular, of course. But the other thing that might explain Harry's decline, and this has been documented as well, is that he's not comfortable sharing pictures of the kids online, especially in a merchant way. And that is understandable. I mean, I agree with Harry on something. But then, I have a question. If he's so upset about that, why doesn't he complain about it? Why can't he just tell Meghan, hey, you know what, we're not doing the Merchant Lily thing anymore? And to be fair to Harry, that would make sense because he claims that he has never liked the public thing, the public appearances, the fame, the stuff. And he said he wanted to protect his kids from that. I have to be fair, he actually said that years ago. But it seems that Meghan has other plans. She wants to integrate the kids into the family business. We still don't know what the family business is about, but we do know that Meghan wants to integrate the kids in one way or another. We will still be wondering if Harry at some point is going to say that this is enough, that this has to end. But until then, we will keep it documented whatever face he puts on the screen. By the way, I have a blog on kinesics.com. I'm writing again there. Maybe you are interested in reading my musings, so check the link in the description of this video. And let me know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue. Much love and bliss.